Hello everybody, it's Maikito, and as the season progresses and there's more games that they're playing and teams are linking up and team chemistry's building, I feel like these picks are just going to get better and better. There's a couple games tomorrow, smaller slate, but there were still a couple picks that I did like. So as long as I can find some, I'm gonna make a video. So let's get straight into them. And the first one is Gerard Moreno to go higher than 2 shots, playing at home for Villarreal, going up against Celta Vigo. He played one game. He didn't play the last game, but he did play the first game at home against Atletico Madrid, who have a good defense. He played 71 minutes and still had 2 shots. He averaged 2.54 per 90 last season. And he's a good long shot taker. He's a good dribbler. He'll take those long shots, which is what we like to see, and he can create his own chances. And it's not like he's an attacking midfielder. He's a striker. Celta's not good against killers, and they're not good at stopping opponents from creating chances in general, which is good, which is what we want to see for a player like Gerard Moreno. The first 2 games that Celta Vigo had were at home, and they allowed 10 shots to Alaves and 13 shots to Valencia. So they already had a good advantage defensively, being able to play at home in the first 2 games of the season. Still a lot of decent amount of shots, and now they're playing away, so they're gonna be worse defensively, going against a Villarreal side that likes to shoot. Now they're playing against an even better attack than what they're used to with Alaves and Valencia. Now they're playing against Villarreal. He's the main striker now next to Ayoze Perez. He was also last season, but he was playing next to Sorlov, and most of the attack was concentrated on trying to find him because he was a great striker. But now that he's next to Ayoze Perez, Perez is a good player that can pass in the ball as well, and you could see that in the first game as well. So I feel like he's going to be the main attacking threat. He's a good playmaker as well, so the attack is going to flow through Gerard Moreno. In that first game where they played against a good defense in Atletico Madrid, he took 2 shots out of Villarreal's total 9, and I expect at least double those or around double those shots for Villarreal this next game. So I like this matchup and I like this line for Gerard Moreno to go higher than 2 shots. My next prop on the other side for the goalkeeper is Ivan Villar to go higher than 1.5 goals allowed. Playing away for Celta, going up against Villarreal. Villarreal has scored 2 goals in both games they've played so far this season, against Atletico and against Sevilla. They scored 2 against Atletico and 3 against Sevilla. And last season, when they played against Celta in both games, they scored 2 and went over this mark in both of the games, scoring 2 in one game and 3 in the other game. Celta conceded a goal in both of the games, so while they technically have gone under, they were playing at home where they have a better defense. Now they're playing away from home where they have a worse defense than what they had. If you look at last season, Villarreal scored 36 goals in 19 home games last season, so that averages to 1.89 goals, so close to 2. While Celta conceded 34 goals in 19 away games, which averages to about 1.8. So Celta have a worse defense away. Varela have a better attack away. They've already gone over this mark in both of these games this season, which this probably just Villarreal to score 2 goals. Celta are weak at defending through balls and allowing chances, while Villarreal are good at finishing chances that they get and creating chances specifically with through balls. So I think this is a good matchup, and now Villarreal can take advantage of this matchup. They haven't struggled in the attack. I don't see a reason why they will struggle again. So like Ivan Villar to go higher than 1.5 goals allowed. My next prop is Zito Lavombo to go higher than 2 shots, playing at home for Cagliari, going up against Como. Last season, he averaged 2.36 shots per 90, and he likes to dribble. He's a counter-attack threat, and while Como were really bad at defending counter-attacks against Juventus, Como just lost 3-0 away from home to Juventus, and Cagliari had 13 shots in the draw against Roma, who's a pretty decent defensive team. Zito had 1 shot in that game, but now he has a better matchup in Como where he's going to have more opportunities to take those shots. And if you look at the game before that, they played in the Coppa Italia at home against Carenze, and he had 3 shots in which Cagliari took 20. So this is hopefully what I expect Cagliari to do. It might not be 20, but more like 15 to 16, and I feel confident that he takes at least 2 of those. So I like Zito Lavombo to go higher than 2 shots. My next prop is actually his teammate, his striker partner, and that Roberto Picoli to go higher than 2 shots for Cagliari going up against Como. My logic here is that 1, or the other, if not both, which is what we're hoping for, which I think is gonna happen for them to shoot. They're two striker partners. They gotta take advantage of this Como lineup. Out of the 13 Cagliari shots against Roma last game, Picoli had 6 shots. And now, like I said, I feel like this is just a better matchup in general. He averaged 3.74 shots per 90 last season. And then you look at the shots that he took 29 with his right, 15 with his left. So he took 33% of his shots on his weak foot, which is what we like to see, because he'll take advantage of whatever chance he gets. And he also took 14 headers. And I mentioned that because he's 6'2" and won 83% of his aerial duels last season, which is also good as well, because if he gets those crosses in, it's a good chance he's going to take those shots. And in general, last season, he took 43 shots from inside the box and 15 from outside. And in the one game against Roma, 4 were inside and 2 were outside. So the ratios is the same as last season. Around 33% of the shots that he takes are from outside the box. So again, if he gets those chances, he's going to take those shots, which is what we want. He's a counter-attack threat, and he likes to dribble just like Luvumbo. So it's a good game for both of them to exploit this matchup against Como, who had a horrible defensive game against Juventus. So like Roberto Picoli took a higher than 3 shots. I want to give a quick shout out to my partner, Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito in the description to match your first deposit up to $100. They also give you a free play when you sign up, so you can take advantage of that. I also have my PrizePicks linked if you want to use that code as well. I also have the YouTube membership for those that are interested. It's for those that want to get the plays out early before anybody else, to try to avoid potential bumps or plays getting taken away. And it's also a great way to support the channel if you're ever interested in doing that. It really helps a lot. And if not, I also have Cashapp, Fliff. Anything helps. Just liking the video, commenting, anything you guys do helps out the channel, and I really appreciate anybody who supports me in any way. My first moneyline play is Real to go higher than 1.5 goals against Celta Vigo. I went over this in the Ivan Villar pick, so just quickly, just going over what I said before. Varela has scored 2 goals in both games that they've played this season, 1 home, 1 away. To Atletico and Sevilla, I just think it's just a better defensive matchup for Villarreal. They can take advantage of this Celta defense, who conceded 1 in both games at home, but now they're playing away, which is where they're worse defensively. They played twice last season. Villarreal went over in both of those games last season, and Villarreal specialized in finishing their chances and creating chances through balls, which is what Celta is weak at defending at. They're not good at allowing opponents to create chances, and they're not good at allowing they're weak at defending through ball attacks. So it's a good matchup, good history. Just all the signs are there. So like Villarreal to go higher than 1.5 goals. An easy prop that I like they can take as well is higher than 0.5 first half goals for the Cagliari and Como game. Cagliari and Como can both try to take advantage of the better defensive matchup in the first game. Como had a tough defense they had to go through in Juventus, and now they play Cagliari, who is obviously not as good defensively as Juventus. And Cagliari can also take advantage of the defensive matchup, playing an easier defensive opponent than Roma than they had to play. So both of them can try to take advantage of that. Como in their game, they had a goal. They had 2 goals, I believe, in the first half. Cagliari, that game was just scoreless, but again, it was against Roma, so it's understandable. And then last season, in 19 home games, the games in the Cagliari averaged had 24 goals in those 19 games, so averaged more than one goal a game. While Como in their away games in the Serie B had 23 goals in 19 away games in the first half. So now Como's playing in the Serie A, where more goals are scored than in the Serie B. So I think this is a good matchup for both teams to try to take advantage of. And then Cagliari, on one hand, had Picoli and Marin, who were good pickups in my opinion for a team like them. They're not a big team, and players like those who had decent seasons are a good pickup for them. And Como still have pretty good experienced players that are still linking up, and I expect them to do better in the next game with Belotti and Sterfaza, and even Alex Moreno in defense. So I think in general, good matchup for both of them. I expect at least 1 goal to be scored in the first half, so like higher than 0.5 goals in the first half for the Cagliari and Como game. Quickly going over last video's picks. Villar hired in 2 saves. He pushed with 2, got it right at the last minute. He honestly should have had more. He allowed 2 goals against Empoli, and that was the first time in history that Empoli beat Roma in Roma's house, which is just crazy. The one time that we take them, stuff like that happens. When it comes to the plays that hit, we have Semenyo that hit, Courtois hit, Mason Greenwood pepper play hit as well. That was fantastic for us. And then added plays that I had in there, Politano hit, and then Hagen hit under on those saves. So that was good. And then when it came to, first of all, the money lines were just not good. Like I said, Roma should have won. First time in history they lost against them at home. So that was just crazy. And then Marseille tied their game. And then when it comes to the player props, they all hooked. They were literally all hooked. Szoboszlai higher than 2. He ended on 1. Harry Kane had to play higher than 1.5 shots on target. He ended with 1. And then we had Sanchez to go higher than 2.5 saves. He ended with 2. And then Bogu's higher than 1.5 shots assisted. He ended with 1. So they were all hooks. They were all close. It was just very unfortunate for them to have hooked. But like I said, as the season goes on and more games are played, systems are played, we know how teams play and stuff, how new managers and stuff play. We'll have a better sense of how easier for us to try to predict these plays. So it's still not a bad day, but just saying that it's only gonna get better. I know it is. I'm confident in my reads, and those that were there last season know that there was times where I was going in like 40. There was like a 42 and like 5 run or something like that. I was sweeping like every other day. So as long as these games keep going and the systems are played and stuff like that, I'm confident that we'll have much better consistent days instead of these like 5 and 5 days and stuff like that. So just wanted to put that out there. But other than that, for those that don't know, I also have the Discord. It's free, completely free to join, linked in the description, where people talk about their own plays, their own slips, inputs and stuff like that. So completely free to join. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.